Today I'm going to share my experiences of learning anatomy, especially at the beginning, how I started and about few of the problems I faced. Hey, I'm Pradhuman Chaudhary. I'm almost about to complete my basic medicine, which is being taught in the first 2 years of the medical school. Yes, I'm excited for the clinical college, but before that, I would like to share some of my experiences regarding anatomy. So talking about anatomy, they taught us anatomy for the first 2 semesters of the basic medicine. For the first semester, they taught us upper limb, thorax and lower limb. And then talking about the second semester, in the second semester, they taught us abdomen, pelvis and head and the neck. So when I got my textbook for the anatomy, which is British Russia, I was so excited to learn about anatomy, and I opened the book and read the first few chapters of the book, which was bones of the upper limb and the introduction. I studied the first one of the upper limb, which is clavicle. So I studied about it, the parts and the shape and its features and all that. Then there is attachments, like most of the anterior surface of the clavicle gives origin to the muscle pectoralis major. Similarly, there was subclavius muscle. The subclavius muscle is inserted in the inferior surface of the clavicle. So there is a group called subclavian group, in which the subclavius muscle gets inserted, which is on the under surface, like inferior surface of the clavicle. That's where things started getting difficult for me, because I was learning the chapter bones of the upper limb. So I was supposed to learn the bones, but there was muscles, and I had no idea about the muscle pectoralis major and the subclavius. I didn't know their position in our body, where they are located and what's their origin insertion. Those muscles were new for me. I didn't know those muscles, so it was getting difficult for me to understand all those attachments. So for that, what I did was I went over internet, textbook, atlas, YouTube and all those resources, and I listed all the muscles related to the upper limb that are attached to the bones of the upper limb. I got the clear idea about those, about their insertion, origin, their function and so on. After learning those muscles, it became easy for me to understand the attachments of those bones, attachments of those clavicle, scapula, humerus and all those bones. So next time when it says there is pectoralis major originated from here, inserted there, it all became easy for me. Learning those muscles was not easy for me. It took me quite a long time, but the fact that I understood all those attachments paid me off. So I understood those bones, clavicle, scapula very well. Then there's next bone called humerus. When I was studying about humerus, there were relations regarding humerus, like ulnar nerve, which runs behind the medial epicondyle of the humerus. Then similarly there is radial nerve, which runs in the radial groove of the shaft of the humerus. And again there is brachial artery. The occlusion of brachial artery occurs when there is supracondylar fracture of the humerus. Supracondylar fracture of the humerus is more commonly seen in the young children. So for this time, learning attachment of the humerus was easy for me. It didn't give me that much trouble, like biceps brachii, triceps brachii and brachioradialis. For this time I knew where they are coming from, where they are originated, inserted and how they are functioning, where they are located. So basically attachment became easy for me after knowing the muscles. To understand those arteries and nerves and how they are related with the humerus, I again went over all those resources and I learned about the nerves. Like there is brachial plexus, which is giving 5 branches, and that branches supplies the whole of the upper limb, and ulnar nerve and radial nerve are 2 of those 5 branches. And for the brachial artery, I studied it right from the heart, like how it is originated, how it is coming out of aorta, and aorta divides into subclavian, left subclavian, then there is brachiocephalic, then right subclavian. The subclavian artery becomes axillary artery right after crossing the outer border of the first rib. And it was good, I was learning that way, but I was learning the bones of the upper limb, and at that time I was not supposed to learn about brachial plexus and the aorta and its branches. Even I started lagging behind my class lectures, so it was not good for me. It was not working for me. Let me tell you, it took me around 2 weeks just to learn three bones, that clavicle, scapula and humerus, which was not good for me at that time because I had so many other subjects also to focus on. From then, I changed my strategy of learning anatomy. So for the next time, when I was learning the bones, radius and ulna, I just focused on all the aspects of the radius and ulna. I was not going into the details of those attachments and relations. So for the things that I was not getting, I was just doing Google for them and looking at some of those pictures related to that structure. Of course, there are chapters like pectoral region, arm, forearm, for all those arteries and nerves to study in detail. So when I studied those chapters, I understood the artery nerves very well and related those structures with the bones. Then everything got clear. And it was not that much time consuming. I studied all those things in a very less time which I was previously investing. So it was good for me to change my strategy of learning everything at once and then to learning everything chapters by chapters. So it helped me very much to go along with my lectures with reviews and previews. So this was my experience of learning anatomy and how at the beginning I was trying to learn everything in one chapter, so which I changed, and then I started going chapter by chapter. Hope you are doing great with your anatomy and other medical subjects. So don't be anxious to learn everything at once. Keep going step by step. It worked for me and I think it will help you too. The most important thing for now is to keep you safe from this COVID-19 outbreak. So please stay inside, do not go outside, do not make crowd, and follow all those guidelines available and given by CDC, WHO, our local government from health and administrative departments. So stay inside, stay safe. Thank you.